What is going on, good people? This is Black Market, Black for short, from the Philly podcast, man, Philly the city. I'm going to talk to y'all about, some Eagle, a little bit of Eagles, man, and then what's going on with, the summer league, what I noticed from the Sixers and other teams and other players around, man. So I just wanted to say what's up, y'all. But from what I understand, man, I've been looking a little bit at the Eagles, what's been going on. Kind of been in the background because I'm not the type that you know will sit there and talk about something that's not really in season during the time. But I understand, obviously football is a business, so it goes 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. However, in the dog days of the summer, it seems like a lot of stories get drawn out. A lot of things going on. Or not a lot of things going on in the summer, obviously, because these guys are or vacationing. You may see a signing here or there, but other than that, yo, what's going on, Drew? What's going on? What's going on, Joe? But yeah, you don't see a lot of things going on during the summer in football, man. But I did want to talk about one particular thing that I'm noticing a little bit, in the blogs on Twitter, you know, a little hearsay. I don't really think it really needs to be really dealt with. I just want to talk about it. I see a lot of people talking about the the quarterback situation here again. I don't know why, and the reason I say that is because it's July. It's July what 10th now, right? And we're here talking about you see a couple of the tweets. Well, Hurts was inaccurate in training camp, or I'm like, or not training camp, but OTAs. I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no doubt, they're going through the kinks, trying to work things out. But at the same time, like, is that really a topic this time in the middle of the summer? You know what I'm saying? And then you have people. If one person says it, I know there's this guy on Twitter named Dan Cilio. I've watched, maybe one or two of his takes, on his show or some of his tweets. And for the most part, man, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, we don't really need to. We don't really. It's like, come on, man. It's like people you need to find something to talk about. Like, I'm not talking about a guy throwing a pick in OTAs, man. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth the stress. It's not worth Eagles fans' stress to go and do all that. It's just not, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure Mike K from ESPN I think he used to work at ESPN Philly on the radio. He annotated that Hertz was just fine. So which one is it? And that's when you get in the back and forth with players. Yeah, yeah, Drew, you get in the back and forth with a lot of people saying things, and it's just like, can we really find something new to talk about in regards to the Eagles? I mean, if you don't have anything fresh, what I would suggest is talk about some of the older players that retired. Have a story about them. Have a story about the guys that just got drafted by the Eagles. Why not talk to them? You know what I'm saying? You just it gets a little bothersome because yeah, Jeremiah, it gets a little bothersome. I'm just like, hey, talk. This is the perfect time to talk to the rookies, like a N'Kobe Dean. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Davis, guys like that. Talk to them. Write about them. What are they doing this summer? You know what I'm saying? Because this is their first training camp in the NFL. What are their thoughts? What are they doing to train? Who have they been talking to? Because it's been what 1, 2, 3 months, almost three, going on 4 months since the draft, right? What are those guys doing? Talk about that. But I don't. What I don't want to happen or to see happen is our fans already starting out with that negativity in regards to Jalen Hurts and what this team can or can't do. I saw a part of or a good part of the show that Joe and Big Game James had this afternoon. It was a great show. First off, it was a good show. Um, and I saw a lot of the back and forth in between the fans in the chat, and I'm like, hey man, it is. And I keep saying it. It is July the 10th, right? There's it's just like, come on. Like I understand. It's like I also understand it was a joint it was a joint podcast, so you're gonna have a lot of hate between the Eagles fans and then the Cowboys fans. So how we already know how it is. But what we can't do is get all wrapped up into it, man. One thing can happen. We not like I said, we're not even at training camp yet. Just relax, man. We'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? We will be okay. Um, I haven't really seen much. I haven't and that's a good thing. You know, it's it's a good thing. None of our guys are on the negative radar. Um, I haven't heard of them trying to, the Eagles trying to get anybody else. They did, like Joe did mention, they plussed up the safety position with Jaquiski Tart, so that was a good thing. Good idea, man. I think this team here, if we're just looking at right now on paper, I am going to be. I'm cautiously optimistic. I still think that there's a lot of growing to do in regards to the Eagles. Um, if I had to predict without them hitting the field right now between in preseason or in the actual regular season game, I'm gonna keep it. Actually, just really basic. I would say that they are a 10-win team right now, and you because what I want to do is you set the base low. That way, if they overreach it, or go past what the expectations are, hey, it's not a surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you knew what they were at a bare minimum, and I think at a bare minimum they're a 10-win team. I'm not going to go into the 12 and fives or the 11 and sixes. No, they should win 10 games this year, right? Providing all of the pieces acclimate themselves and do what they're supposed to do. I think they're a 10-win team. So the division right now, as I'm looking at it, I'm going to give the Redskins uh, a lot more faith or respect than what others may. I also think they're a 9-8 or 10-7 team, depending on one health, because that's what really hurt them last year was that they weren't healthy, more or less than the quarterback did. So if you don't never say understand how people feel about Carson Wentz. I feel sort of the same way that most Eagles fans do about Wentz and how he exited Philadelphia. Um, but however, that does not mean he's still a young man, relatively young. He can turn things around. You know what I'm saying? So with me saying that, I think if they run a ball control offense, their defense is pretty decent. Was a ball control offense, and um if Wentz doesn't make a lot of crazy mistakes, hey man, that's a 9-18. 10-7, right in the thick of things, just like the Eagles will be, just like the Cowboys will be. You understand, like the division. You know how things are within the division. No game you go into is going to be a wash, man. It's not going to be okay. Well, the Cowboys are going to dominate, or the Eagles are going to dominate. You don't know what the Giants are going to come up with. We really don't. Um, Jeremiah, I think 11-6. I think that's pretty good. Um, I kept mine lower. I said 10, but if you say 11, that's fine also. Um, Teams like Drew was saying, a lot of teams have improved. Like it just we want to put, and I'm gonna go back to um to Carson Wentz. We want to put him in this vacuum because of the negativity that happened in Philadelphia, and then the last part of the season that he had in Indianapolis. But look, those stats for last year for Wentz weren't bad. They mirrored the stats he had the last, but outside of the year where they went 4-12. The 2 years before that, those it was right on par. What, 27 touchdowns, seven interceptions? Hey, who what what team wouldn't want 27 touchdowns and seven interceptions? The only thing that happened, and my man, and that's his prerogative not to take the shot. He caught COVID and he missed a couple games. We all know who Jim Irsay is. You know how he acts, so you know what was going on with that. And he wasn't. It was a no tolerance. You come back and you lose to the Jaguars, so that was a part of it. But for the most part, he didn't underperform the year last year. He didn't. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality of it. You know. So you look at the Redskins, and then you got the Giants. We don't know, you know, what the issue is going to be with them. Rookie head coach there. Saquon is coming back. That's a positive for him. They didn't extend Daniel Jones. They're giving him this year, but who knows what they're going to be. Their defense again is not bad. They just needed better. Needed to get healthy, and they needed better quarterback play. This the way I look at this. The way I look at this division is it. Hey man, it could very well end up being who is the most healthiest team going into December. You know, if the Giants are the most healthiest team and they're around 500, if the Eagles are the most healthiest team and they're going down 500, or they're up in there around maybe one or two games over 500, you never know, man. Everything could shift at the drop of a dime. We saw how the Eagles got in the playoffs last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't expect them to make the playoffs, but situations change. The next thing you know, like a couple of the teams they played, their quarterbacks got hurt, and they, took care of those teams who they got hurt. So that is what it is on that, man. So that's that on that, man. But I don't see much else right now with the Eagles, to really get into, because like I said, it's a lot of just dry area there, and I don't want to bore you guys with that. But I wanted to talk also a little bit more about what I've seen when I transition into talking about the summer league. It's a lot of one thing I've noticed about the summer league is that a lot of guys are out there and just trying to get buckets, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I think these guys need to understand. Well, the guys that are playing in the summer league need to understand. Like, there were, I think, as two teams got docked their first round pick. There's 28 first rounders that are playing in the summer league. Two guys got hurt this over the weekend, so I don't think they're going to be playing the rest of the summer league. But if you draw that down, 26 first rounders are playing, right? And what these teams are trying to see is how do these guys transition or play within a team construct, right? What I see going on in the summer league is a lot of guys aren't trying to feed these first round picks. A lot of these guys are just coming down and they're throwing bad passes. They're just looking, they're shot hawking. And what I mean by that is they get the ball, man, the ball is going up. No thought of going into a pick and roll, no thought of getting into the first round pick. They're just shooting. But that's not what these teams are looking for, right? That's not what these organizations are looking for in the summer league. What they're looking for, and I'm telling you because I'm looking at it as a baller, and as a guy that knows basketball, what these teams are looking for are guys that one can play team basketball, right? It is not just about you getting your shot. Because what their thought process, these young guys' thought process is, hey, I'm auditioning for somebody. I may not make an NBA roster right now, but I can go overseas, right? I might be able to go overseas. I might get a G League contract or whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? But what they need to think about is fundamentals, right? It's not about your shot. It's about how you get the rest of your teammates involved in the game. If you run and pick a roll, and if your teammate's guy, along with your defender, comes over to you, dish that to your teammate so we can get an easy layup or a pop and pick so we can get a three or a mid range jumper, or keep the ball passing, keep the ball moving. That's what this is all about, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, Drew. I mean, it's because people have to understand, like, and it's guys. There's some guys that already they're in their second or third year in the league. So what the teams are telling them, and you can see it. They're telling certain guys that they already know are going to make the team. Hey, get your shots up. That's what they're telling them. Like for prime example, I seen Isaiah Joe. He's taken 24, 25 shots a game so far in the summer league, but that's his assignment, right? That's his assignment to do so. Now, but you have a guy like what's his name? Cassius Winston, the point guard that's playing. He understands his assignment. My assignment is to get these guys the ball. But there are guys that are just hawking shots, man. I'm like, look, can you rebound? Because that, like you said, Drew, that's how I'm gonna use a prime example. Um, what's his name? Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace knew he couldn't shoot. He knew he couldn't shoot, right? Right? But what Ben did do is he honed in on the one thing he was very good at, which was rebounding. Rebounding, that which it turned into defense, was turned into rebounds. And Ben played for 15 years in the league, just doing those three things, right? He didn't look to be a part of a pop and pick role where he got the ball back and shot a mid range jumper. He didn't ask for none of that. He just played his role. And a lot of these guys are coming up. Now I got to show these teams that I can shoot, bro. It's a whole bunch of shooters out here. If that was the case, a lot of people would be in the league, and that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Um, so with me saying that, you gotta understand. Fine, if I'm talking to these guys, I'm like, hey, find a role and stick to it. And the quickest way you can get on the court, the quickest way you can get on the court at any level, play basketball. Or not play basketball, play defense. That is the quickest way to get on the court, man. At any level. Because guess what? They know you're gonna hustle. The coaches know you're gonna hustle. They know you're team oriented because you are giving up pretty much whatever you think you want to do on offense. You're giving that up to play defense. Another prime example of that is Gary Payton Jr., Gary Payton II, the gloves son. That man moved around the league for 6 years. 6 years, man. He was on the Warriors squad 3 or 4 times and got cut 3 or 4 times. He played out right, Drew. You know what I'm saying? Until your whole game develops, play defense. That is the quickest way to get in the league. That's the quickest way to get minutes. It is. It's just, I mean, but I think a lot of it is, on another thing I'm noticing, I think that is attributed to the AAU level, where all they do is they they run and shoot. There's nothing else. There's no fundamentals being taught. Hey man, I get the ball, I'm out. I'm either gonna dunk, pass, or shoot. There's nothing else in the middle. Nobody else is doing anything else. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing anything else. So I think that's what a lot of that is attributed to. Um, what else I'll say as far as the summer league is that the guys that are touted, Paolo and Chet, Keegan Murray, Matherin, those guys are hoopers. They're here. They're coming to play, man, and that's a fact. You know what I mean? So I wanted to touch on that. Um, right now, like I said, the league is, as far as I don't really want to touch on the Kyrie and KD thing. We've already beat that to death. We already know what it is with that. I don't know where KD is going to end up right now. Everyone's saying Phoenix, but if I'm Phoenix, I'm not giving up Booker for KD. I love KD, but he's 33. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know what the case would be with him going to Golden State. Do you really want to go backwards? You know what I'm saying? Like I know those guys, off the court, they love each other, but is that something that KD wants to do again? I don't know. What I don't see happening is him playing another game in Brooklyn. That I feel, as much as I pick with Brooklyn fans, it's just tough. You know what I mean? Like you've been a meteor, not mediocre, but an average team for years and years, and you get the prospect of a dream that KD, Kyrie, and James all come and play, and then within 3 years it's all broken up. It sucks. The more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that sucks. I mean, just not even as a 76ers fan, but just as a hooping fan. I love hoops more, and that's another thing people can't get around. Their own personal alliance to a team. My alliance is to hoops. My alliance is to football. Not, I love the teams, but I like the game more because and I think I learned that a lot as I got older. Like, it's more about the game itself than the actual um the teams. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can't differentiate between each other. That's why they can't have the good conversations they want to have with fans of other teams because they can't separate the two. You know what I mean? I love good basketball, man. It doesn't matter who was playing. If it's good, I'm watching. What I'm not gonna watch is a lot of people doing a lot of mess. Yeah. Yeah, Drew. I just the game I guess now as I got older, I've grown to appreciate it more, right? Appreciate the guys, the art. Because it's really basketball is more of an art. More just as much of an art as it is a game. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys, man, are doing things now that are built off the backs of the guys in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and so on and so forth, man. Like the things you're seeing these guys do now, man. Like who would have thought we would have saw somebody like a Steph Curry pulling up from past half court to hit a three? You know what I'm saying? That because that's not how the game was played, even up to 10 years ago, right? The game wasn't played like that. You know what I'm saying? The game was not played like that. The game was slow and it was going through the bigs, and then it was a mid-range game, and you had your point guards. Now everything is positionless. But with that being said, you have a lot of guys doing things that they really can't do, which hurts these kids coming up playing basketball, because all these kids know now that they see Steph, hey, I can shoot from 30, and then they learn nothing else. They don't know how to read defenses. They don't learn how to, set up guys and pick and rolls, screen action. They don't know how to play defense. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to see when their guys are wide open, because all they know how to do is all they want to do is shoot. They don't want to learn anything else. And then their egos get bruised when you tell them, hey, son, learn something else. You know what I'm saying? If you can't hit the three, if you can't hit it from 30, try hitting it from 10. Try hitting it from 5. Make, work on your floater. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But these guys now, man, they don't see anything like that. What else is going on in the NBA right now, man? Other than the summer league, man, ain't much going on, man. I just wanted to stop by. I'm gonna stay on here for another 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions, let me know. There's not much going on else in the NBA right now. The one thing I am following is, the transition back to football is, I wonder what is actually going to go on with Deshaun Watson. My take on him is it's very unfortunate, and I am very sympathetic to the women, and I do think that some things happen with that situation, but I lay the blame solely at the feet of Deshaun Watson, because whatever the accusations are, you as a man are in control of your situation, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'll take a little bit more time to talk about it. You as a man are in control of your situation. Understand that. Like, I don't care what you say. You don't need 320 women. And I'm blowing that out of proportion, that number. But you don't need 320 people or women to massage you, bro. You don't. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. You don't need that many women to massage you. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. And if anything, if there is going to be a suspension or penalty handed down, it's going to be because of your your lack of situational awareness and common sense. If anything, that's going to get him more than the actual act, because you are a brand, whether you like it or not. You are a brand, and in turn, you represent the NFL. You know better. I don't. What's going on, Lucas? Yeah, Drew. I mean, bro, like, look, man, like, you don't need all those women to give you massages, bro. You don't. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And like, it's unfortunate how it all came about, but now you're here. Now you're here, bro. What do you mean? Like this? What my question? If I had to ask questions to Deshaun, like, hey, bro, where is your situational awareness? What were you thinking at that time? At that point in time, did you really need all them women? And to me, the answer is no, you didn't. Regardless of what could be true, the fact is, that for you, you say that you want to prove your innocence, right? You say you want to prove your innocence, and then you turn and then you go and plea bargain with 24 of them, 20, I think 22 or 23 of them. Like, if you really didn't do anything, why are you plea bargaining? If I know I didn't do anything, I'm not plea bargaining with anybody. I don't care what anybody wants me to do. I'm not doing it. But that tells you it's like he knew something took place. And my thing is, regardless of what comes out of this situation, I wish the best for the women first off, because understand, fellas that are watching, I do believe that we as men have to take a better care of the women around here, or women out here. We do, or just make better choices. Let's say that, make better choices. Um, you know, it's regardless of what comes of this situation, man. Like going forward, if you play another you play another down in the NFL, bro, be situationally aware of what's going on. It does not take you but 5 to 10 seconds to realize this situation ain't for me. Or you got to have some people in your corner that's saying, "Hey, Deshaun, hey D, this ain't right." Maybe you saying you do, but it's not looking like it, because if you did, you wouldn't make this choices make the choices that you did, bro. You know what I mean? So that's one situation that I'm looking at. The second one is I want to know what's going to go on, with the kid in New Orleans, Kamara. He had a physical altercation, out in the club, I believe. Lumped up a guy pretty good. I wonder what the league is going to do about that. That's another thing I'm looking at. I haven't heard anything from or read anything out there about it. So that's one thing I'm looking at, man. But like I said, I just wanted to get on here with you guys for a little bit. Chop it up, man. Hopefully, we'll get some. Training camp is coming around the corner, man. August, at the end of August, or at the end of July. You know what I mean? So I'll be back on here with Marv, man. And shout out to Marv. His grandma's 94th birthday. So want to give a shout out to Miss Cole, you know what I'm saying, and Marv's family and Marv's brother and everybody back at home. Want to do that. Brandon, what's up, bro? We need to get you back on here soon. Joe, good show today, man. I seen you toning down, brother. Yeah, my man is transitioning into a businessman. You know what I mean? Seen him on here with it with his suit the other day, man. Everything is going good. Please, everybody, what I mean, hit that like and subscribe to the Philly podcast. This is just one of a few more shows I'm gonna be doing, by myself and with Marv, man. We're gonna be doing a lot. And just want to say, man, y'all stay safe. Y'all have a good summer. I'll probably be back on here next week or so. We get some more content, man. It's gonna be a lot. We have a lot. Myself and Marv, we have a lot of big plans for our segments, and working with Joe and Brandon, and we'll have some other guests on, man. Stand by, man. We're gonna be working for y'all, man. So y'all take care, man, and have a good evening.